Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Syafiee Abdullah, our solicitor and advisor for Serba Dinamik Group of Companies. Datuk Karim, Managing Director and CEO, Board of Directors, members of the media, shareholders, internal and external, welcome to this press conference. Before I start, in the past 2 weeks, I think, you have seen a lot of stories about Serba Dinamik, and most of it are speculation. It's not really addressing the truth. And what happened was KPMG, who was our auditor, has negligently red flagged some trivial issues which doesn't even affect the bottom line of the company or even the turnover of the company, and for whatever reason have blown the issue out of proportion. And as a result of that, the shareholders, internal and external, suffered a loss. We had a market capitalization loss of about 3 billion ringgit, which is not small for a oil and gas firm. Is big in numbers. And our solicitor here, the Tan Sri Syafiee, will explain to you on the details of it. But I think we have, since we came on board, I'm a new chairman, we came on board, and we had deliberated through many meetings in a short span, and discovered that a lot of news and a lot of whatever is being around has been not true. And we decided that whatever red flag which is raised by KPMG should be taken up legally. And the board has deliberated, and we have decided to take legal action on KPMG. Legal action not because of the company is not doing well. We are doing very well with 18 billion ongoing contracts, 6 billion turnover, and more than profit in excess of 1 billion. The company is healthy, but the way the auditors, the external auditors, portray the company as though there is a lot of inappropriate things that has been happening. So to us, to me, as a new chairman of the company, I think we have to take action on whoever who start this red flag. And on top of that, to give confidence to the investors, we are here to explain to you whatever questions you have. I am new, but in the short span, I've learned a lot of things. But Datuk Karim, as a founder of this company, CEO and managing director, will and should be able to answer all your questions, inshallah. So I think before we go further, I think I would pass it on to Tan Sri Syafiee to start briefing the press. Please, Tan Sri.
Good evening, and assalamualaikum to everyone. The company have decided just a few days ago at a board meeting, after being briefed fully by the legal team, in particular me, to take action, legal action against KPMG for negligence and for breach of contract, and lastly for breach of statutory duty. Now, we have taken many anxious moments to consider this route, but finally the board have decided that a suit against KPMG is the most viable and the most justified thing to do in view of the circumstances of the case. Now, we have filed the action very early this morning. We wanted to do it last night, but we were told that there was some period of time that the opening of the registration by way of online was closed. So we did it early this morning. And this morning itself, we had served on KPMG a copy of the writ as well as a statement of claim. Now, because the court documentation has not been officially sealed, although it has been filed, it will not be ethical for me to give a copy to everyone. So I would be here to answer your questions based on the little or rather extract that I will tell you what the suit is all about. Now, in crafting this statement of claim, I found that based, of course, on the instructions given by the company management as well as relevant directors, that the issues raised by KPMG were not huge. They were issues that ordinarily could have been resolved if KPMG had resorted to the usual method of meeting with the clients, raising the issues one by one, no matter how many. In this case, there are not so many, and to see whether the client would be able to answer every one of these issues raised. Now, I found that there was, based again on instruction, I found there was a failure in adopting the correct process of doing the audit. Over and above the substantive issues, whether or not the matters that the KPMG has sort of red flagged, whether they were justified to begin with to be red flagged. I found based on instruction that there were no substantive grounds to red flag the company on those issues. So we have taken the matter to the court. I'm expecting favorable result. Of course, the suit that we have maintained and filed this morning pray for substantial sums of damages, because as you can appreciate from what the Datuk Chairman have said, the market capitalization itself dropped by about 3 billion. So this is a direct result of the unreasonable red flagging of the issues by KPMG, which resulted directly in the Security Commission and perhaps even Bursa in acting the way they did. In the case of Security Commission, they acted purely on what KPMG said or reported, and they have raided the premises of this company. Again, quite unreasonably and based on no serious facts that can be acted upon by any enforcement agency. Now, these are the basis and the, if I may say, in general terms, what you will find in the cause papers against KPMG. So it is the company, Serba Dinamik Holdings Berhad itself versus KPMG. And we want the matter to proceed as quickly as possible. As soon as the COVID period is over, I'm sure we'll hear a lot more from the court. I do not want to say anything more, but I'm here to listen to your questions, and I will answer if you direct any questions towards me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tan Sri. Next, I'd like to invite Datuk Karim to give his remarks. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and salam sejahtera, of course, to all the attendees of today's event. I'm here to stand as a shareholder of Serba Dinamik Holdings Berhad, and of course holding the full responsibility for the trust of the shareholders and of course stakeholder, plus all the other relevant parties which has entrusted myself and also team to run the company in accordance to what the governance calls for. And I reiterate the statements that we have done nothing wrong. The company have very strong fundamentals, and we hope that this announcement after this will put the company into a positions what we call it as business as usual. We have a lot of prospects which we are working on, and there are a lot of other ongoing projects, not only domestic but also internationally. And I will say that the positions of the company at the moment has reached quite a very successful level, in which we are talking to quite a number of government of the days of respective country, which is actually looking at our expertise, our track records, and also the capabilities that we have put forward over to them. I would like to take this opportunity to thank, of course, Datuk Mohamed Ilyas for his willingness to come in to take the chairmanship of Serba Dinamik Holdings Berhad. And we strongly believe that with his experience and also his knowledge and extensive network that he has built over those extensive entrepreneur journey they have undergone, will help the company to face all these challenges in a very effective manner. And of course, I'm very thankful also to Tan Sri Shafi'i, who is willing to come in to take up this particular important case to move the company forward and to assist the company to go back to what I mentioned early, business as usual. So with that, I would like to close these initial statements representing one of the major shareholders of the company, and also the responsibility and trust of all the other parties that I've mentioned to ensure that the investment and the money that all these parties has put into the company will be maintained, sustained, and get the necessary returns as what has been promised. Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk Karim. Thank you, Tan Sri and Datuk Ilyas.